Howdy, everyone. I want to thank you for coming in tonight. This is American Hillbilly. I want to thank all the Hillbilly Nation out there. I didn't say that right. This is American Hillbilly. I just want to thank you all for showing up tonight. We got a great show out here ready for you guys. We got an awesome side chat already. We have a great panel. And so, anyway, I'm going to bring the panel on one by one here and let's say hi to them, okay? So, first up, we got Jamie. How you doing this evening, Jamie?
Hey, Hillbilly. Thanks for having me, man. I'm doing well. How are you?
Man, if I was doing any better, they'd have to lock me up or something, I think, because I'm doing really good. Always excited on Saturday nights about this show.
Amen. You know what else comes on Saturday night? Not that we should.
Gomer Pyle?
The Grand Ole Opry.
I I thought he was gonna say Opry Gomer Pyle or what was the show that used to come on every Saturday night?
Hee Haw.
Yeah, Hee Haw, man. Gathered
Yeah.
around the living room floor many times to watch Hee Haw.
Yeah, we used to do that. And, man, I'm looking forward to the show tonight. There's Mark and G23.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Hey, Mark with the C. How you doing tonight, buddy?
If I was any better, there'd be two of me.
Well, man, we'd love to have two of you, buddy. Just you wouldn't give up that comfy chair to your second person, though, would you?
Oh, no way. I can remember settling in on the Grand Ole Opry nights and watching Lawrence Welk, too. Holy mackerel. That's a throwback.
Oh, yeah. Lawrence Welk, man. No doubt about that. Remember that for sure. So, anyway, also we get out here. We have Bubba. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good.
All right, man. Sure glad to have you.
Hey, no problem, brother.
You doing all right tonight on Saturday night?
Yeah, I'm off.
Well, that's always a good thing. The fella ain't got to be working.
Yep.
All right. Talking about working here, we got the famous Mac Man. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on, Hillbilly. It's always good to be on your show. Really enjoy it. It's always a fun night. Got a great panel here. A lot of hair on the panel tonight. A lot of beards, a lot of hairs.
Listen, I'm jealous of both of the beards here. All right. I grow one that looks like I have the man.
We got definitely. We definitely have some good looking beards on here too.
All you got to do is quit shaving, man.
Oh boy. I just enjoy letting my hair grow out for the winter time because summertime, see, all gets cut off. All right. And also tonight, we got somebody else joining us. We got the famous gun website. Hey, G-Webs, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Fair to Midland. Thanks for the link. I don't know if I'm famous, but I appreciate the link. As for the beards, I think we're just helping the environment, right? We're not wasting razors every day.
Yeah, we're not clogging up any sinks by shaving.
Yeah,
I mean,
running all that extra water. We're just doing our part.
Well, that's 100% true, buddy. So, anyway, I just want to thank you all for showing up tonight, and we'll go around here and let y'all introduce yourself and what your channel's about here in just a minute. But first of all, I'm going to jump over this wonderful side chat we got going on here, and tell everybody, give a little shout out here. So we got Jamie JH, he's out there. We got GGW Outdoors. How you doing, buddy? We got Gun Websites also out there. We got Rick Perry. How you doing, Rick Perry? I live in the mountains. Old Rick, he's a flatlander. He calls himself Flatlander. We got MCK out there. We got Mark Thomas out there also. We got 2 Live Moo out there. We got Casey Dolph out there. How you doing, buddy? We got G23. We got Bubba Triclops Ballistics out there also. We got T2BRFU. So how you doing? I don't recognize that name, so I appreciate you joining in tonight. As well as everybody else, thank you very much. So let's see here. We got MacMan out there also. We got Vanessa Kitty. How you doing tonight, Vanessa? And that's out there tonight. So, and I here. So you guys can start putting in entry for the giveaway. So this will be our first giveaway tonight. If the computer cooperates with me here. I don't know what's happened to this silly thing. You guys still hear me okay?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Now,
A little bit broken, but still hear you.
Oh, did he crack up for you guys? I thought that was my
Oh,
connection was breaking.
Okay, there we go. Now it must be mine. I don't know 100% for sure what's going on here, but evidently might be the internet for some reason, which don't make a whole lot of sense. I've not really had trouble with that before. So we'll see if we can get this banner to come on here. But anyway, if y'all want to start typing in hashtag HBN9, the number 9, that'll get you entered in our first giveaway tonight. And we're actually going to have 3 giveaways tonight. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're just going to have a great time. And let's see here. So let's start out here and we'll go around the room here and you can tell everybody about your channel and what you do. So we'll start out with you tonight, Jamie. You want to tell us a little bit about your channel and what all you got going on?
I do load development type stuff, reloading, shooting. I tend to do more older guns. Like right now, I'm sitting here talking to y'all, and I'm building putting a Rio Grande, a Rossi Rio Grande back together, which is pretty much the equivalent of a Marlin 1895. It's in 4570, and it's turning out nice. But that's the kind of stuff I do on my channel. I did a week or so ago. I did a video about a double barrel shotgun, and I got another double barrel I'm gonna do a video on as well in the future. But basically, what we do, I concentrate more on live streams than I make videos. We do the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream on Georgia Shooting Connection channel. So y'all come over there and check us out, particularly if you're thinking about getting into reloading or if you are a reloader. Hey, GGW. That kind of thing. So come on over. thanks again for having me, man.
You bet. And I put there in the banner, Jamie did a great video on this gun that he's went through and just totally reconditioned. So go check out that video that he has there. It's just, I mean, he spent a lot of time on this and it's well worth the watch. So
Thank you, sir.
you betcha. Okay, Mark, how about you, buddy? So what should tell everybody a little bit about what your channel's about and what all you got coming up, bud?
Mark,
I think you're on mute, buddy. Maybe.
Yep. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
My channel has started out as just things that I do, things that my son and I do together, to be able to show family out in Western Pennsylvania that aren't too near us, and ended up showing some leather work that I do, and that sort of took off, and things have just developed. I've got connected with a great community of shooters, casters, reloaders, just all kind of things. And anytime you tune into one of my videos, you might see just about anything.
Yeah, and it's always you have some great videos. You have a wonderful talent with leather also.
Thank you.
Mark makes some just beautiful custom leather holsters and everything. So I mean, I just really appreciate your channel. It's a great channel. I love watching it along with everybody else here too. So G-Webs, we'll skip you for a second because I know we have a little announcement for you. We'll just go on over to MacMan. You want to tell us a little bit about you and what you do in your channel, buddy?
Cool, thank you. So very similar to everybody else. I've just started up a live stream. So I do a live stream on a Monday night at 7 o'clock Arizona time, which is about 9 o'clock Eastern. I think I'm 3 or 4 shows in. I tend to do about an hour show on a product. I think the first one was a RCBS bench primer. Last week was the cutting the crimp off military brass and cleaning the pockets out. And this coming Monday, it's going to be a new caliber. I picked up a 30-30, so I got some brass. I bought some dies and everything, so we're gonna spend that show just popping the dies into a T7 and running through, depriming, sizing, lubing, and getting everything ready for the next process. So that's going to be the live show on Monday. I try and do some tool contents as I'm a Mac Tools distributor. I've started doing some tool reviews. I do a little bit of casting, quite a bit of reloading on there, and I'm going to try and get some more shooting videos out there as well. So yeah, I'm trying to drop some links to everybody on the channel tonight, guys. So if you want to go on and sub to everybody, we'll really appreciate it, and I'll try and get everybody's channel up in the side chat. And thanks for having me, Hillbilly. Hi, yeah.
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
man?
buddy.
Hey,
Well, thanks a lot, Mac. Appreciate that. How you doing, AR?
Pretty
we'll
good.
get to you, buddy, next here. We're gonna Bubba, you can tell us what all you got coming up and a little bit about your channel.
Yeah, just Bubba. That's all. That's all you can really say. I like to show off.
You
cheap
get what
firearms.
you see, huh, buddy?
I like to show off cheap firearms, so everybody has a right to practice their Second Amendment right, and price points shouldn't be able to stop you on that. So I like to show off guns that function properly and things of that nature. As far as right now, I got a new shotgun that's about High Point price, and I'm calling it the High Point shotgun for right now, but it's not made by High Point. As soon as I start testing and stuff, there'll probably be a video on it. There's a couple of things wrong with it, but other than that, it looks like it functions properly and stuff. But it's a magazine thing. I'm trying to find magazines that actually fit it correctly. So that's about it.
All right, buddy. Well, you can probably get G-Webs to make you a high point sticker to stick on that thing. Then you would have a high point shotgun, buddy. Well, all right, AR. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. I apologize for being late. I'm running security.
Okay.
I'm running security systems and cameras around here.
All right.
And,
you want to tell us a little bit about your channel and what all you do?
I reload 223 right now, 9mm. What else? 308. May get into some other calibers, which I know I am 40. I'm gonna be doing 40. I'm not like Mac now. I've only got a Redding T7 on my channel. Big Boss 2, a Forster Coax over there, and a Dillon 650. I reload and try to release some videos and do some editing the next few weeks. And I'm getting a Lee turret, and I'm gonna start a beginning reloading tutorial. Not necessarily a tutorial, but yeah, I may load dummy rounds, for the show. So good to be on here. Appreciate the invite. Good to see you guys too. Good to see the side chat.
You bet, buddy. Glad to have you on here, and you've got back to doing lives pretty quite a bit and stuff. Do you have any certain date that your show comes on?
I'm going to start try to every Friday. I'm thinking 9:05 Eastern Standard Time. Actually, I am. Even if there's other channels streaming, I'll still go ahead and start there at that time. Echo's coming back shortly. He's texted me today, so we're going to be doing some. We'll be doing some live streams on a gun range. So that'll be something new for you guys on the side chat. I hope that's coming. We're supposed to get that up and running.
Well, good deal, brother.
Yeah, he'll be at the range. He'll be shooting, and I'll be talking to the side chat and whatever. We hadn't decided on the show yet. Totally.
Yeah. I'm sure what you come up with will be a lot of fun.
I hope so. Content's important. It really is.
Next, we got G-Web. Yeah. We got gun websites. How you doing tonight, buddy? You want to tell us a little bit about what all you're doing, and tell us a little bit about what you're raising money for here. I put down in the banner, guys, what G-Web, where you can go. And also, let me post this here in the comment section. This is where you can go to help out G-Webs. And even though there's my name on it, I received nothing from it. It's just when you do use this link, it'll just show G-Webs that I sent you over there. So anyway, you want to talk a little bit about what you got going on, buddy, in your channel?
Sure. Thanks again. So for the chance to chat with everybody about it and spread the word on it. So this is, I've been doing stuff on YouTube since 2009. And throughout that time, being part of the gun community on YouTube, right? Playing with the internet and playing show and tell and doing all the things that people do. I've really enjoyed the community part of YouTube, even though we're not quite like Facebook or some of the other community platforms. People have used YouTube as a community, and these live chats are part of that, right? So over those years, I've helped people. I've tried to help people with my knowledge, my internet skills, right? And then after becoming more aware of what's going on in the Second Amendment realm, just trying to help spread the word and get messages out there and find people and resources, match people up, right? We need people that can help coordinate and that kind of thing. So I've enjoyed doing that. part of it is the good work that's being done. People often will think of this, what they're doing as like a volunteer thing, like a community service, like a hobby, and you have a right to do that. But when we're talking about important stuff, and I'm thinking of some of the ladies that are out there doing stuff, or some of the people that are in parts of the gun community that are not often they don't have a light shed on them enough, right? The parts that are overlooked, like you're talking about the inexpensive guns, right? Like the flashy, the trendy, the big money is always behind whatever's new, and just some of the stuff gets kind of set to the side. And the problem is that a lot of people are doing this as a hobby. Well, we have a really powerful thing, potential. We have a country of capitalists. We have a huge industry, and people are out there that are doing stuff of value. Shows like this have value. There's projects out there. We all have heard about the things on Kickstarter where somebody has a great idea, and they get enough funding that they can get an engineer and some manufacturing behind it, and then it turns out to be the next best lure, or part for the truck, or thing for the garden, or whatever it is. Well, we got the same potential here in the Second Amendment community, and I don't know how much you guys are paying attention to the folks that I hang around with for the most part, or people that are out there that are doing like shoots for people that are new shooters, or safety for kids, right? Gun safety, not safety from guns, but safety with guns. And people that are out there interviewing, the people that are out there getting stuff done, the ladies that are communicating with the representatives and going to testimonies for the committee hearings and stuff like this. And the work that's getting done, these people are doing this out of pocket. So we've got Bloomberg on one side who's funding the antis, and we always get frustrated when a bunch of people get paid to show up in a bus all wearing the same color t-shirt. They get taken to lunch, they go home, they're looking forward to the next time. So how do we challenge that? We're not going to get a millionaire to sit down, and we don't want a millionaire to sit down. So what I try to do, after again trying to be that coordinating factor, right? Trying to put resources together. I've attempted to show people that you can do things to make your own money. You don't have to depend on handouts. You don't have to be rich or have some special donor or something. When we've got 1,000 people that have $5, that's $5,000 to get something done. And sometimes that's getting a new product out there. Sometimes that's getting someone someplace that's can be there to represent a portion of the community, or have some message that needs to be said in front of some people. Sometimes it's who knows what, sometimes it's just empowering a program or a project. Anyway, so that's sort of what I've been doing, is trying to facilitate that. And this project right now is a crowdfunding project. I've done 37 of them on this platform. I've done them for big projects and little projects. Sometimes I do them just for fun. Often I did them for my tours. Like I would drive around looking at gun shops and museums and stuff, and I would be funded with people that are participating like this. And I do this, one, so that I can get some cool stuff done. Like nobody needs me to drive around and look at gun shops. But what we can do is get out there and go to gun shops and spend money at everyone, give them some free publicity, get people that awareness that you can do more with your YouTube channel than just play around. Like you can take it seriously, and you don't have to have a big company funding it. You don't have to be independently wealthy. You can do things creatively. So what I'm trying to do with these projects is show people how this works, right? So Hillbilly's got the link up there, and it's got all that blah, blah, blah. And then it says Hillbilly at the end. If anytime somebody who's doing this stuff wants, they can look over my shoulder and I'll show them how these projects work, and how if you've got let's say somebody in town that makes ashtrays, or not ashtrays anymore, but coasters, let's say, or belt buckles or something, and that's a friend of yours, and they can make the belt buckle for $10, but you could sell the belt buckle for $20 and make $10 for your project. Well, let's figure out how you can do that. Maybe you can help your friend out making belt buckles. Maybe you can fund a project. Maybe you can fund a trip to SHOT Show, or you can do something for your channel, or create a project. And what I'd like to do is help people figure that out. So over the years, that's what I've done with these projects, is I get something accomplished, but then I also try to show people in the industry how to work these things, how the internet works, and how they can be powerful. So I appreciate the time for people that are able to participate. We need 150 people for this one. And what we're talking about specifically here is a 15 needle, I guess the way to say it, 15 color embroidery machine. So if you think like a sewn patch, like when we were in scouts or in the military or something, you got a sewn patch, not the PVC kind. That just comes out of a big fancy sewing machine. And this is one of these. This is a professional one. Our friends in California have one, and they're willing to sell it to me because they're moving, and I can get it at a decent price. It'll be my second embroidery machine. That's one of my things, just being around for a while. I've enjoyed designing and embroidering pamphlets, but I did it with an older single needle machine. This one will be a more professional machine. So the project is to get a whole bunch of people together, 140 people together, which will allow me to grab the machine, get it from California, and set it up here in Tucson. And then I'll start sewing out patches on it, and those people will get the first products out of the machine. We're also going to make some other stuff along with it. I'll be able to make hats and things like that. So it's to help get an embroidery machine. This project is to help get an embroidery machine here to Tucson so we can start sewing on it. And in the process, show people like Hillbilly or anybody else who wants to figure out how crowdfunding projects work, give them another project that's in our community to see, both in the process, like now, if somebody wants to see what it's like when they're in action, or they can look at some of the old ones and see, what a successful one looked like or what a failure looked like. You can learn from both of them. So again, I appreciate everybody who's got the resources to participate in it. I would certainly appreciate it. And if you're not able to or not interested in participating in it, I totally understand. I only need 100 or so people to participate at this point. But if you would be willing to share it around, that's the important part. That it's a crowdfunding, right? Part of it's funding, but half of it is getting it out there. And part of this is just to get a gun thing out on these platforms. Most of these platforms are comic books or music or video game stuff or some new USB port. So I like to keep, I'm kind of proud that all of our projects are gun related in one way or another. This one's a sewing machine, but I'm not hiding the fact that it's for sewing gun patches, right? So I appreciate the people that share this around. The way these mechanisms work, the internet is just a bunch of software. The way the mechanism works is the more people link to it, the more the software sees that it's being trending or whatever you want to say, the more it's getting clicks, and that helps it. So you don't even have to participate. By just sharing it, you're helping. And I really appreciate that. And the part of this, really, the ulterior part of this is that I'm trying to show people that the internet is ours. We participate in this internet, and we have these tools available to us. Value your voice. And if you got something in the back of your mind that you want to see and be real, the internet will help you do that. And we're allowed to do that in the gun realm. I've made some gun playing cards. I've done some projects with other people doing patches and stuff. We're talking tens and $20,000s of dollars worth of projects before. It's possible. The internet is super fun. And if you want to learn how to use it, that's why I do these projects, so I can enable us to do this stuff. So I appreciate your time, and anybody who participates or even helps shares it, you're helping a lot. Thanks for that. And thanks for your time.
You bet you, buddy. Yeah, and if you're not already subscribed to G-Web's channel, I mean, it's a great channel. He does lots of lives and does so much for the gun community, for the Second Amendment. I mean,
well, I guess I appreciate that. I didn't even think about that aspect, but as soon as I got home from SHOT Show that Sunday, they demonetized me. So this is actually going to also help me to sell patches on Etsy or something.
About your 2A matters also while you're talking about this.
Well, I was just saying that as I got back from SHOT Show, they demonetized my channel. So it wasn't a bunch of money that I was making on the gun channel, because it doesn't make that much money, but it is hundreds of bucks, and it's out, it's off. So this machine will help me to supplement that by making patches over on Etsy or something like that. The Every Second Matters thing you're talking about is, it's not mine. I'm the one who helps keep it going or whatever, but yeah, that was a bunch of people sitting around like this back in 2013. The Obama had come out at the beginning in January of 2013 and said, since Congress will enact, I'm going to put out 23 executive actions, and that will effectively get us back to an assault weapons ban and all this stuff that he was upset about the Congress not creating. So nobody did anything. No one organization stopped that. No no campaign, no individual. Instead, everybody just standing up and going, nope, is what stopped that. And it was a difficult year, but at the end of that year, 2013, for everybody that remembers, there was like a sigh of relief as we kind of realized that Obama's threat had no weight behind it. And those of us who were in conversations like this realized that what was going to happen is we were all going to just kind of go back to business as usual, and we were going to forget what just happened. We were going to forget 2013 and that grassroots resistance to those, that threat of presidential overreach. And what we did is we decided, after a series of chats like this, what we'll do is we'll have a conversation on the second day of each month and talk about the Second Amendment. And that's it. That's the whole rules. So if you're interested in participating, it's just the idea that on the second day of the month, we think about what the Second Amendment protects and do something. Some people go out to the range. Some people host a conversation like this. Some people wear a T-shirt or, do something to provoke conversations in real life. Everybody does different things. And over those years, it's just become a bunch of collaborative, interesting things that people have done. And I don't like to say it's mine because there was 20 people or something that came up with the concept and hundreds over the years that keep it going. But I like to tell the story every once in a while, and anybody can feel free. There's nothing to join. There's nothing. It's just doing something on the second of the month.
You bet. And I mean, I think it helps us all, the second of each month, just to think about it, maybe put a little bit out there, share something like G Webs is saying to, so we know how important our Second Amendment is. And I always, like in a joking way, I always like to think, okay, so when they start doing amendments, they're like, okay, well, First Amendment, we're going to say it's okay for anybody to say what they want. And they're like, yeah, I mean, that sounds like a great idea. And somebody says, well, we also need have people to be able to protect ourselves. So we better make a Second Amendment. And so anyway, it's something that's very important that, us as a gun community that, we need to just, stay behind anything that has to do with our Second Amendment and support it and, and share with other people, because myself personally, I've had the opportunity just to answer some questions, with people that, was thinking, oh man, why would somebody need any more than this, or, capacity of a magazine, or why would you need, a caliper any bigger than this? And so, it gave me the opportunity to talk to somebody and say, well, this is what, I see. And, once I, and not argument, but just a casual conversation, be able to explain to them, my point of view. Most usually if somebody's got a pretty open mind, they can, see the conclusion of that and say, well, yeah, I agree with you. I never really thought about it that way. So it's always a great deal to discuss with people if you get the chance and the opportunity. So anyway, I just want to thank you all for being here tonight and everything. And real quick, before we get started on our first conversation here, I'm going to jump back out there and I'm going to shout out some people that's joined the side chat, and I hope I don't miss your names here. If I do, please forgive me. We got David Walcott joining in. We got Agarizer. We got G23. See who else we got here. We got ScrewTube. ScrewTube. Actually, I had just did a video. If you guys hadn't seen that, I did a little shooting with the High Point, and I called it the Annie Oakley Challenge, and it was a lot of fun. I was totally surprised. I was really happy with the High Point, and ScrewTube, he is such a great shot, and he's going to do this also and put it out there. So if you guys haven't went and seen that video, I appreciate if you get a chance to look at it. And if you'd like to try that challenge, I mean, it's just fun. That's all it is about it. It's, no contest or anything. It's just a lot of fun, something to, practice and have fun with. So anyway, we also got, we got else out there new. See, we got Justin Grimm. How you doing, buddy? So, also, see, I think I missed him. We got D. Anderson out there, and I hope I'm not missing anybody, guys. And if you're kind of new to the show, I don't have a chance a lot of times. Gary Gizzard, he joined in to call everybody out when you join in because we might be in conversation or something, but I do try to highlight, everybody and let them know that you're out there and we're watching what you're saying. So I appreciate that. And so, first of all, we're going to start out here. Like I said, we got 3 giveaways tonight, so don't go anywhere. We got some, some pretty cool stuff tonight. I have 2 of them, and gun website, G-Webs, he has one he's going to give away, so you don't want to miss that. So we're going to make sure you stay tuned to everything. So tonight, I'll put it here in the deal. We're going to talk a little bit about lever guns. Not already doing the giveaway, the first one. Be sure to type in hashtag HBN9. The number get you entered in our first giveaway, guys. So anyway, back up to you, Jamie. And so what lever gun, and with this also want to add your first lever gun, or if you even have a lever gun, and is there one out there you'd like to have? I mean, there's so many out there I'd love to have. But we'll start out.
I feel like maybe you should tell Jamie what a lever gun is. He might not even know. He's not even seen it.
You say he's still on black powder?
That grin when you said even if you have one, I could tell something was coming.
My first lever gun was, I guess it was my little single shot 22, Ted Williams, when I was 10 years old. Then when I turned 18 for my graduation present, I bought myself a Marlin 336 and 35 Remington. Then a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I was able to find a used 30-30. So it was made in 1974. Of course, the 35 Remington was made in 1980. And then I'm thinking I'm going to hold out for one of the Marlin 1894s or 95s, whatever model it is, and 44 Magnum. But a 44 lever gun will be next. And I also have a Rossi 357 Magnum lever action.
I want one of those.
So I know nothing about lever guns.
You just go ahead and mail that Rossi my way if you want to, buddy.
You're so cute.
So, yeah, I would really like to have one of those. That's something that I've heard a lot of people really say that they like, they enjoy. So that's something that I would really like to get my hands on.
Those things are just fun, man. They are.
Well,
Yep.
If you have a revolver, more than likely you got 357, ammunition. So I mean, why not get the 357 lever action go along with it? In my opinion. So anyway, and out there on the side chat, make sure you put out type in there on the comments what lever gun that you have, or if you're interested in one, what one would it be? So how about you, Mark? You got any lever guns in your collection, buddy, or anyone that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I got a couple. I think the first lever action that I had interaction with when I was a youth was my, of course, Daisy BB gun. And my dad had a Ithaca. I can't remember the model number, and I still have it. It's a single shot 22 Magnum. It's kind of like a rolling block, drop block action. Really neat little thing. And the other was my grandfather, my mom's dad, model 99 Savage, 300 Savage. Really neat gun. So I still have that one as well. And of course, after that, when I got the means, got into a couple of Winchester 94s, both in 32 special. And I think that's the limit of my lever action guns. Love them though. Love them.
Yeah. I think maybe my lever action love started with the old Western show. Man, somebody help me out. What's the name of that?
Rifleman.
Rifleman, yeah. And then Steve McQueen also had a very nice lever gun. Whether he's a bounty hunter. And I think that was a mare's leg, I guess, assume on that one. He had the holster for it and everything.
Have gun will travel.
Yeah.
Is that the name of that?
Yeah. So a lot of the old Westerns is what, really kind of pair my love towards revolvers and lever guns and stuff. So, all right, G Webbs, any lever guns that you have or you had or you'd like to have or anything, buddy?
Well, that's a bigger question. So I was born and I got a lever gun. That's my story. Is they gave me a single action or a single shot 22. The story was that whenever I was born, that was given to me by somebody. So I've always had a lever gun technically, and then I didn't like that one because it was a single shot. It was great when I was a little kid, but you want more than one round. So I can imagine at some point I probably got one. I kind of just assumed whatever one I felt like out of the safe was mine. You know how you are when you're a little kid. But at some point I got one of my own in 22, and I bought my first 30-30. Probably my second long gun was a 30-30. Mine's an old one too. I think a 70 something. So it's got the, I like those better. If I could pick one, I think a cricket, like a small lever action that's like a 22, but the size of a cricket, like a scaled down lever action. I don't know why, but I'd want something like that. I think that would be cool. Not for practical or nothing, just because it would be cool to have a little lever action.
Yeah, those would be pretty cool.
But after working in a shop for like 17 years, like I'm a big, and out here in Tucson, right? Like I'm a big fan. I mean, I've fiddled with like really old ones and really expensive ones and fancy ones and weird ones and now the modern ones. I mean, I'm not saying I want laws or nothing, but if I got stuck in space with just a lever action, I'd be all right.
Yeah. I love those lever actions. There for a while. I don't know if anybody remembers them. But Daisy actually had a little lever action 22 rifle. And, it come out as a youth model. And so we were buying them, I think, this is kind of Home and Bass Pro here. but we get them at Bass Pro. I want to say for $45, brand new, and there was something great to throw in the canoe if you was floating the rivers around here and stuff. Because when you're floating the rivers and things like that, you do actually see some snakes and stuff that can be very dangerous. And so even though it was a small rifle, it sure was a lot easier to aim, as a rifle instead of a pistol or something, So that was always something really fun to have. So, MacMan, how about you on the lever guns?
My first one was quite a modern one. It was just a Henry Big Boy 44 mag with the Octagon barrel. That was my first lever gun I bought.
All right.
And I started sort of building a bit of a collection up of them. I think the next one I want is the new Marlin in 4570. I can see I'd like to see them both. They bring that grey coloured one out with a laminated stock, and they bring in a wood one out. I'd like to see them both side by side. Probably not going to be possible for a while, but I'm more leaning towards the wood one with the walnut stock and the dark metal and everything on it. So that's the one I'm keeping my eye open for next in 4570.
All right, I don't blame you. Yeah, those are will be some nice guns. So, how about you, Bubba? You found a cheap lever action you're going to slap a High Point sticker on yet, buddy?
Yeah, totally, absolutely. I just got a mark for having his mic off. I'm just doing it myself. Ignore this. But I actually don't own a lever gun, which actually hurts me physically and spiritually. But, I have shot him. My dad has a Marlin 3030, and it was probably one of the first guns I ever got to shoot. Top 5 first guns I ever got to shoot. And so I always wanted one. I think his is like in the first thousands that was made or whatever. So it's kind of a rare Marlin.
Wow.
One that I would want is 4570. I want the one that was in was it Jurassic World? What Chris Pratt had. I want to say it was actually a Marlin too, if I'm not mistaken. So it was 4570 government in the movie. They claimed in the movie they claimed it was a 577 Tyrannosaur. Just like, no, that barrel's not big enough, not near big enough. So yeah. And and you can't make it a lever action. At least I haven't heard of anybody making the 577 into a lever gun. But I would love to have that one. I just like the way it looked, aesthetic wise, and something about the kind of like powder coated nickel look to it that it had, and the black furniture on it was just looked nice to me. So that's one I would want. If I go to get one right now, though, I'm probably going to get a 357 mag or a 44 mag.
All right. Yeah, man, that sounds great. But yeah, I totally agree with you. That gun in Jurassic Park looked pretty awesome to me. So, how about you, Elliot? What you got any lever guns in your collection when you start out with, or something you're looking forward to?
I don't have any right now, but I am looking forward to getting a 30-30 and a 44 mag. I shot 44 mag when I was a kid. We're talking 12 years old, I think. The Marlin, it was a nice gun. I've had 3 lever guns. When I was in my 20s, I bought a Marlin 30-30. It got stolen a month later. Never did recover it. That was my first rifle, actually, was the Marlin 30-30. What was the second one? Was a Winchester. I got rid of it, sold it. I'm trying to think what's the third. Oh, third one was about 2010. I bought a nice looking black walnut, really engraving, all that stuff, and paid more, a little more for it. than Walmart, and got it for a while, and realized I had a hard time finding brass to reload it, so I sold it. It was 35 Remington. So my next one will be 30-30 and then the 44, or vice versa. I hadn't totally decided yet, but I'll probably go with 30-30 first. And, so I'm looking forward to coming out. Hope Ruger hurry. I wish they'd hurry up and get on the market with them. That'd be nice. So.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Well, for me, my very first gun, other than Red Ryder BB gun, which was lever action, was the Ithaca lever action single shot 22. And I think I told the story on here before. It's a great gun. I loved it. I mean, that thing just, I got it, my dad got me a few boxes of the 22 shorts, and, me and the dog just go out there to the woods and, do a little squirrel hunting, and enough to have some squirrel gravy, in the morning for, biscuits and gravy. And so I just really love that gun. And my dad also had the Marlin 35, and I just love that gun. He still has today. Hopefully I'll get that gun one of these. Just, I don't know, drive nails with that thing. And I just really like that gun. And then probably my third one was just my lever action gun. And I actually have more than one of those that I just really like. Man, it's showing on my end there's some internet trouble. Everything okay out there for you guys?
You occasionally kind of not go out, but a little bit of issue I hear.
Just a little hiccup. I was just wondering if it was my machine, but it didn't. It's not worth messing with. It's not that bad.
No.
Okay, I hope not. I pay for really good internet, and I haven't really had any troubles at all with it. So hopefully we don't have any more troubles with it. So
occasionally reboot your router. That'll help.
Yeah. And most usually for a start a show, I'll restart my computer and my router and everything just to make sure we don't have any troubles. And so tonight looks like so far. Do what, Jamie?
If all else fails, you could pay the bill.
Yeah, that might be a problem too.
Just kidding.
So we got Moondog out in the chat there. He is actually going to jump on here after bid. He sent me a message that he's going to be a little bit late, so hopefully he'll get on here in a few minutes and we can visit with him also. So anyway, make sure you guys type in the hashtag HBN9 to get entered in my first giveaway. And then, like I said, we're going to have 2 more tonight. So we'll go ahead and get that one out of the way here real quick. Let me pull up here what we'll be giving away. And my goodness, it might be me because my computer. Okay, there we go. Finally. So, man, put all that money for a good computer and don't want it going down on you, but So anyway, I have given this away quite a few times here on the show. And let me share the screen here for you guys and make sure you get typed in there hashtag HBM9 so you can get entered in this. But this will be our first giveaway. It is a tactical knife. It's pretty cool. I'll be sending this to you guys straight from Amazon. I've given these away before, and this is not some, $300 knife, or anything like that, but it's something that's really cool, kind of a multi-purpose knife that I have one in each console of our car. I got one in my range bag, and I tell you what, it's not a Leatherman, but it does come in really handy a lot. It's got a glass breaker on it, seatbelt cutter. It's got a flashlight, a little LED flashlight that actually pulls out of the knife, and you can just hold in your hand for when you're searching for keys or door lock or something. It's got a fire starter on it. It's got a bottle opener on it, a belt clip. So anyway, it's just a pretty cool little knife that seems to be, pretty handy for what it does. And so we have 18 entries here. Make sure you guys get in and get that typed in so you have a chance to win this. And I'll pull up the screen here and we'll do the first giveaway tonight. And so let me see here. All right. Well, let's get this thing going here and we'll start on our second giveaway so you can get entered in that. Round and round it goes. Who's going to be the winner here? Mark Thomas.
Congrats.
Oh, my goodness.
Mhm.
It's the third time you've won this, buddy. Man, Mark is going to start selling these knives online, I believe.
Have you checked to see if he's holding a magnet or something?
So, Mark's going to start collecting these and giving them away for Christmas, I believe, or something. Man, that is so funny. Congratulations, Mark. Well, I for sure have your mailing address, buddy. So there's no problem of getting this thing to you, bud. Let me write down here. So I got you written down there, buddy, and I'll get that to you. Man, congratulations, buddy. All right. Well, our next giveaway is actually going to be from G-Webs there. So don't type that in yet. I'm sorry. Let me restart this. I apologize. Don't type that in yet. I got to restart this so it'll start collecting. Doggone it.
Well, if you're going to take a second to retype that in.
So while I'm doing this,
why
don't you tell us about what you're going to be giving away tonight, buddy?
You don't get this one, but I'll start off with one of the to go along with the knife kind of concept. This is one of the Walmart brand, but whatever, a little inexpensive multi-tool, going the boat or a truck box or something. Not necessarily your first one, but a handy one, right? Or if you're not interested in something like that, I can send you a deck of cards. We've got an Old West card deck. We've got a Firearms Inventors deck, the Old West guns. Every card is a different gun. It's got all kinds of information about it and a picture of it. The Inventors is kind of the same concept, except it's got the inventor, the guns that they're popular or that they're known for, and then all kinds of information about them. Right on. Thanks. So
Cool.
I can do that. Or if you're a patch guy, we've got our new AK patch and the one that we can't sell, but I can certainly send it along with it, and you guys know what that's going on there. So your choice: the knife thing or the multi-tool, I guess, the patches, the Old West deck, or the Inventor's deck.
All right. That sounds like some wonderful giveaways, buddy. I appreciate that. And so, yeah, and see.
Please tell me that dog's name is Frank.
Nope, I'm called the Bacon Bit.
Okay, that works too.
The story of this dog is I was driving home one day and this dog was running down the street going the other way. So I was like, what the hell? So I stopped and he ran underneath of my van. So I pulled him out of there. He let me pull him out of there. And there was a bunch of people around. I was like, hey, where did this dog come from? And they had just all pointed the one way. I drove down, looked all around. There's nobody looking for a dog or nothing. I took him home. If this was 8 a.m. on a Saturday, I took him to the vet as soon as they opened, and there was no chip in them. And I spent the next month scouring the internet and looking all around, looking for signs, driving the neighborhoods in a bigger and bigger circle, looking for people looking for him. Scared to death. It's like some old lady, the dog got away on her or something. Couldn't find anybody that wanted him. So I ended up still got him.
I think I might be jaded from Men in Black, but I always have the habit of looking at a pug saying, I know you can talk, Frank.
Oh, man. I was never a pug person. I didn't want a pug. I wasn't looking for a pug, but I totally get why people like pugs. Wow, they're a fun dog. They are fun dogs. They got personality for sure. They're quiet, too. They're not like a lot of little dogs are noisy. I'm used to little noisy dogs. He's not really noisy. Unless you count snoring.
Yeah, I think they like to snore sometimes. That's for sure. So, G-Webs, also for your giveaway, if you want to post your email where people want to get a hold of you too, here when somebody wins this,
yeah.
that way they can get a hold of you also. And so, make sure you get in that giveaway there. Hashtag HBN 9.1. And so we're going to go to our second little topic of the night. I'm saving one when Moondog gets on here. He had a topic that he wanted to talk about. And so anyway, we'll save that. Our next topic up is basically same as the first one, but we're going to talk about revolvers this time. Now, Jamie, don't get all excited, buddy. I know you feel like me when it comes to revolvers. But we'll just go around the panel here and we'll start out with Jamie and we'll kind of do the same thing, but we'll talk about revolvers tonight. There's just something about, I love automatic weapons, semi-automatic weapons, pistols and rifles and everything. But sometimes it's just, there's just a special place, for revolvers and lever actions in my heart. So.
What you want to know about?
Anyway,
revolvers?
Jamie, do you have it? I knew this would turn Jamie up right here.
Yes, I have. I can't count them. I have two of the Heritage Rough Riders. One's a 7.5, one's a 4 3/4 inch. I have a Smith & Wesson 586, a 686, a flat top Ruger Blackhawk 44 Special, and I have a 44 mag on the way Ruger Blackhawk. I like double actions. I like single actions. I'm sure there's another one I'm leaving out too, but that's enough to start with. The Smith and Wesson, the older Smith and Wessons are the way to go. They're at the point where they're gaining in value now. It's kind of like a Harley Davidson. It'll depreciate to a point and then it starts going back up in value. So that's where we're at with those. I love the Ruger Blackhawks. The reason I like the Blackhawks over the Vaqueros is the adjustable sights on the rear.
Well, I know you got more to say about that than that, Jamie. That's all you got to say about revolvers tonight?
I've not tried a GP 100, but my my 44 Special, the flat top, is it's the Ruger is it's kind of a special gun because it was made it's a 44 Special built on the old 357 Magnum Blackhawk frame. It's a special edition kind of thing because what was happening is these competitive revolver shooters were buying the old model 357s Blackhawks and having their gunsmith convert them to 44 Special, fitting the cylinder and replacing the barrel. So I got this one, and it's basically that already done. So that's a pretty special gun. Of course, my 586, which I named my channel after, it's a 6-inch barrel. It was made in 1988, which is the same year that my daughter was born, and I bought it for, get this, guys, I bought it the year she was born for $225 at a gun show.
Oh,
And it's a no dash. That gun's running anywhere from $800 to $1,100 right now. The 686 is a 4-inch. Of course, it's stainless. It's a 686. It's 4-inch and it's a -1. So it was made early 90s, I would guess. I haven't looked it up, but I need to. All these guys bringing out these collectibles. Yeah, baby.
All right. So, how about you, Mark? Got any revolvers or one that you'd like to have, bud?
Yep. Mark fell asleep in the chair.
uh-oh.
Mark's in way too comfy of a chair. So we'll skip Mark right now and we'll go on to the UG Webs and we'll go back to Mark in a minute. So you a revolver guy, buddy, or?
I'm definitely I definitely have a lot of revolvers, but I'm into the little tiny ones, the mini revolvers. Like Dick Casul created those things with Rocky Mountain Arms in 1971 or something, and then him and Jerry from Freedom Arms improved on it. They sold it to NAA, and then NAA got sold to the company got sold to one of the employees, so to speak, and then it's just recently got sold to all the employees. And during that time, a couple other mini revolvers came up separately from that origin, and happy to say I've met everyone in that whole family except for Dick Casul. He passed before I ever started collecting them, but I've collected them and met just about everybody involved in the mini revolvers in this country. It's one of the things I've done, as far as like playing show and tell on the internet and sharing the community. Some of the best people I've ever met in my life is Boje and Dottie Cornelis up from Tennessee, who improved the AA-12 full auto submachine gun, or full auto machine gun. What am I saying? Excuse me, full auto shotgun. And then, everybody knows the AA-12. The only reason that gun works is because of Boje. Total hillbilly, like 100% the spitting image of the word. Total cool dude. And then in his machine shop, he also improved the Thunder 5, that 410 revolver that predated the Taurus by decades. He's the guy that improved that gun, made it a working gun. And then he made his own version, the BC Specials, his own version of the mini revolvers. And I learned about those as I met him dealing with the AA-12. So he helped open my eyes to not assuming nothing about people in the firearms industry. And then he hooked me up with Jerry Berber, who is the guy who cast all the frames for all the mini revolvers. And he also cast all the internals for like the Mac 10s, all the trigger groups and stuff. I got to hang out in his forge talking to him. And that's all coming from my love of the little mini revolvers. I've done YouTube videos all over the place. I've collected them. I don't know. I'm definitely a collector of those little tiny revolvers. And then additionally, I'm a big fan of the Saturday Night Special story and those little inexpensive, small caliber revolvers that get demonized and marginalized and like Bubba was saying, right? Like discounted by gun owners and used against us as Second Amendment, as gun owners, when we discount these things. So I've got a passion for the RG10s and the stuff that came over as parts and assembled here in this country to supply after the Gun Control Act of 1968. Aside from that, I got an LCR in my pocket that I've been carrying for I don't even know how long, in 357. So I'm an advocate for anybody who's new carrying a 38 revolver or 357 with 38s in it. And I'll stand up to anybody who's modern and is going to tell me that I'm wrong or I'm mansplaining or I'm sexist or whatever you want to say. But a revolver is going to work when you really need it. And a semi-auto has a slide that's vulnerable. And I'll challenge that to anybody who wants to talk tactical or modern or any of these extra things. Because, like I said, a revolver works. So yeah, I'm definitely a revolver guy.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with you. So when my wife decided that she wanted to start carrying, we went through a lot of guns. The one problem that she had with some semi-automatics was she's having trouble with the slide, getting it pulled back and everything, even though we went through a little bit of training on that and the easier way to, use that slide. She still wasn't happy. So we ended up getting her the Smith & Wesson M&P Easy Slide. And she practiced with that for a while and everything. And then one day I was out there, I had my Taurus 38 Special revolver out there. And she goes, well, I want to shoot that. I'd like to try that gun. And she picked that gun up. She shot it. She fell in love with it immediately. And she goes, this is one I want to carry. And so, we went through a little training on that. And she's actually very comfortable with that gun. She shot better with it than any gun other gun that she had tried. And so my wife chose to carry a 38 Special revolver. And it wasn't because I pushed it on her or nothing. But that's what she likes. And, I totally agree with you on, more than likely it's going to work when you need it to work. But anyway, we got Mark. You back yet, buddy?
He's out.
Yeah, Mark fell asleep in his chair. At least he hit mute so we don't hear him snoring. So, real quick, I want to say hi to Moondog. Welcome on the show, buddy. And,
howdy, boys.
We'll get just a minute. We're going to go on through the room and we'll get down to you if that's okay.
Sure.
So, you're up next, Mac Man.
My first revolver was actually my first gun as well. I bought a little Ruger LCR in 38 Special. I think it was a Plus P maybe. That was my first gun I ever bought and my first revolver. And that's what I carried for first couple of years I was over here. That was my carry gun. I like. I'm a bit of a collector of the snake guns. I know they're expensive, but they're pretty sweet. So I like collecting the snake guns.
Yeah.
I do like the look of that new Taurus coming out, the one with the little red dot built onto it. That optic ready Taurus. That one looks pretty sweet. I might have to invest in one of those as well. But I've got everything now from I got 22 all the way up to the S&W 500. So I got a nice range. I got modern. I got old. I suppose my my prize gun would be I got a Colt Anaconda, and it's in 45 long coat. Pretty rare. I'd never seen one before, and I happened to walk into a gun shop and there's one in there. So I thought, why not? Let's just pick it up. So I think that's my prize revolver, is that little Anaconda in 45 coat.
Is it the same frame size?
Yeah, it looks exactly the same as the 44 Mags.
That's awesome. I didn't even know they made that.
I didn't. I just like I said, I picked it up. I looked at it. And I said to the guy, "Is this right? Has this been stamped right?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's a 45 coat." And yeah, it's pretty sweet. I'll have to do a video on it.
Oh, for sure. Love to see it.
When you talk about the old ones, I didn't think, but I've got a Smith & Wesson Model 2. It's all old and you can't shoot it or nothing. But, the second, I think of it as the second bored through cylinder revolver. I'm happy to own that. I love that gun. And it kind of looks a lot like an NAA, by the way.
I like the 41 Mags as well. I got 3 or 4 41 Mags as well, and they're pretty nice revolvers.
I think Hillbilly's got a connection issue.
Look at that.
No, actually, sorry about that, guys. We had a dog running around outside. That's what my dogs was barking about a while ago. So I was talking to my wife, and hopefully it belongs to a neighbor or something. So she's gonna try to get it and put it in a pen so we can get it back to its owner. But sorry about that, guys.
No worries. Get the dog. Yeah, we can wait.
No worries.
So, how about you, Bubba? You got any revolvers you want to talk about? Or something that you'd like to have?
I only got one revolver. That's my little Heritage, which honestly has been the best money I've ever spent on a gun, really. It's extremely accurate, and I've had no problems out of it. I had one issue, but it was my fault, so I can't blame the gun on it. But that's the only revolver I got. And then thanks to Bill Dye, I've got a 22 WMR cylinder for it. But as far as ones that I would like to have, I'd like to have a Smith & Wesson 610, the 10 millimeter revolver. I would love to have one of those. One, because you don't have to have moon clips to fire 10 millimeter in it. It's amazing. You do have to have it for the 40 Smith & Wesson ammo, but 10 mil, don't need moon clips. And I'd like to have, if I could get my hands on it again, a 8-round Taurus revolver in 357 and 38 special. So I'd like to have one of those again. Taurus, I like Taurus products. The only thing about Taurus that I think is a problem is their customer service. Their customer service leaves a lot to be desired. If they could fix that, I mean, they'd be a lot better company. So.
Cool.
I'm not touching it, guys. I've got it down on the table. I'm just trying to see if I can.
Colt.
Oh, yeah.
That's the 45?
That's the 45 Colt.
I can't really see it. Maybe send it down here and I'll take a look at it.
There you go, 45 Colt.
Hang on a sec. Let me enlarge you there, buddy. Just a second.
Anaconda. king of the gun, king of the revolvers at one time.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Oh man, what a sweet gun!
Yes, nice.
And that was just at your local gun shop?
Yeah, I just walked in and he had it in a
What a find.
he had it in one of his gun cabinets, and I was looking around it and I could see there was an anaconda in there, and I thought, oh, that's pretty nice. And then I asked to see it and walked around it, and he brought it out, the unput thing, and I looked at it and I said, is that right? Is it really a 45 Colt? And he goes, yeah. I said, I've never seen one. He goes, yeah, they're out there. So I said, chuck it on layaway. I'll come back next week and pick it up. I couldn't let that one slip.
So do you throw that Sharpie in with it also? For the price, you probably should have thrown a Sharpie in, huh?
That's one of them bump Sharpies that makes it full auto.
That's right.
Full auto revolver.
All right. So anyway, Moondog, welcome, buddy.
Hello, gentlemen. Glad to be on board.
Do you want to go ahead? So what we've talked about tonight, first of all, you want to tell everybody a little bit about your channel and all that stuff. And then first of all, we talked about lever gun, like first lever gun or what one we'd like to own. And also then revolver. Share that with all. We sure appreciate it, bud.
Oh yeah, sure. So I'm Moondog. I've got a couple. My main channel is Moondog Industries, and I do firearms and ammo reviews. And I've got Moondog R&D, which is my gadget or non-pew pew channel. Basically, anything that I happen to pick up on Amazon that I thought I would think is interesting. I just like to do video reviews on things. So those are my two main channels out there. So the question about first lever action, the reason I'm trying to search back is I actually never owned a lever action technically. My mother had gotten me two 22s, and she gave me a choice between a lever action and the Marlin or the Glenfield 60, which I have now. And so I picked the Marlin, but so she kept the lever action, which I think was a Winchester, I want to say 94, maybe 90. And the thing is, I asked her about it recently, and because I know she never shot, and I thought, well, now that I'm living in California, I'll take it back, because I was living in New York for the longest time, so I left all my firearms with her, and so I when I moved back to California, I took my firearms back, and I asked her about it, and she said, oh, she gave it away. And I'm like, oh no, why did you do that? But anyway, so I no longer have a lever action. But,
oh no.
Yeah. I think she gave it to, I don't know. She didn't quite remember if she gave it to another relative. But yeah, there was another 22 lever action. And so those are only the two I had. But it's amazing how much when I was over at SHOT Show at Industry Range Day last month, I was over at the Ruger booth. And there was a long line there. And I figured, okay, it's typical, the bigger brands have a longer line. So I was waiting in line. Then I noticed the line kind of was weighted onto the left half of the booth. And that half of the booth had the Marlin lever actions. And the whole right end of the booth with all the rest of their firearms, including their new 308 AR, nobody was in line to try out those guns. They're all over the Marlin. So that just tells you how much popularity there is now. And I was asking the folks there, what do you attribute all the resurgence in the interest in lever guns? And he said, I don't know, probably Yellowstone. So maybe that's true. I haven't actually watched the show, but I hear it's good.
No, that is good. True. Like, people love that show. I bet you that is a big piece of it. Wow, that's true.
That's a great show too. If you haven't watched it, I suggest anybody to watch it. I really enjoy it.
I hear good things, but I've been cutting down on my sort of streaming services, so it's on my list of the ones I've stopped paying for. So yeah, and I think was the other question was on revolvers on wheel
Yeah.
gun. I don't own one. Technically, my wife does. She got a Rossi M3, I think, from her father, and he bought it back in the day, like in the 70s. And she swears he never actually shot it. He just wanted to have a gun at the house for home defense reasons, but I don't think he ever shot it. At least when I asked him if he's ever shot it. So we took it out to the range, and I showed her how to shoot with it. It's a five shot. I think it was called the other name for it was the Detective. So it was intended for law enforcement. 38 special, shoots fine. I think the etched groove for the rear sight is a little off, but you just sort of work with it. So it's a good shooting gun, but for whatever reason, I've never been. You know what it is? The reason why I've never been that much of a revolver guy is because one of the first revolvers I learned to shoot when I was a kid with my uncle, he had a Smith & Wesson 44 mag, so it was not fun to shoot when you're a 12-year-old. So, but if I had a choice, of course I would love one of those snake guns. Those are just beautiful. And I'm thinking I've always been interested in the is it the Chiappa Rhino? The one that's got the reverse. I always just thought that it looks so cool and different that I always wonder. I've never shot it though, so I don't know if you guys have shot it. How does it feel to shoot?
They're weird. Have you picked one up ever?
Yeah, but just in the store,
They're very
but I've never
light.
shot it.
They feel like they're made out of hollow aluminum or something compared to most revolvers. They shoot differently because they're that bore axis.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've only shot them at SHOT Show also, so I've only shot them 5 or 6 rounds and then put it down. So I mean, they do shoot differently, and I was shooting a 40, so not very much recoil anyway. And in a revolver like that, it was not bad at all.
Do you get any more, sort of finger singe because the bore is so low?
Well, that's a really good question. No, but I only shot it like a couple of times, and if I'd have been thinking about that more, I would have thought about it. And I also would have maybe thought about more like your other hand and stuff. I just held it out and shot it. I didn't hold it with 2 hands or anything.
Got it. Yeah.
It looks mean. It looks a mean pistol.
It reminds me of, and it's not, but it kind of reminds me of that sort of that fake gun that they made for Blade Runner.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. So I think that's the reason why I've always wanted Run of the Rhino, because it kind of looked like that. I always liked that movie.
I put both your channels up, Moondog, I put the link up in there, so if anybody wants to.
Oh, thank you.
Those channels, I just put them up. I've just subbed to your channel, so they're up in the side chat. If anybody wants to sub to his channels, they look pretty good.
Yeah, check it out. I've been grinding away with all the booth videos that I shot and some of the range footage out there. I went to SHOT this year, and I ended up filming twice as many videos or visiting twice as many booths as this is only my second year going to SHOT Show, but I'm still going through all the booth footage, and I've practically been posting up a video a day, but I've still got more stuff to get through, so it's a lot of work.
Yeah, you have a great channel, buddy. I enjoy so much going over there and watching all the footage that you shared. Yeah. I mean, like, not counting just your regular videos are great, but then also, you and so many other people shared a lot of great videos from SHOT Show, and it makes it really nice because, like, I wouldn't, I hadn't seen that new optic or that new scope or, that new rifle or pistol coming out. And so, I appreciate you all that took the time, that went to SHOT Show, and then sharing everything that you found there. That's really helpful for me. And I'm sure it is for other people. So appreciate you all for doing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Did anybody else go to SHOT this year? Anybody else go to SHOT?
G-Legs went, I know for sure. And then some other people, none of them's on here tonight. Chris and there's other people that went, but they're not on here tonight. But
Well, I mean, did any of the people from Georgia Shooting Connection go? Or go Georgia Reloading Connection? Is that what it is?
I think
Didn't
you're
know
muted there, Jamie.
None of us have enough subscribers to get an invite.
Well, next year, if anybody's interested, next year get with us, because that's not the subscriber thing. Isn't so much the subscriber is just a small threshold so that they know you're not like anti, somebody who's going in there to do gotcha stuff. So it's not you have to be this tall to enter, as much as we want to make sure you're promoting and not hurting. So if you need, because I was going to ask if any of the reloading people were there. I think it'd be cool to see some reloading.
I would
Content
love
creators.
to do that, but just have to see that. I work for a school system, so it's hard for me to get time off except for
Yeah.
or Christmas or spring break or that kind of thing. But I would love to do that and do a bunch of. I would go to the reloading section and stay there the whole time.
just go ahead and pinch a tent there.
Well, seriously, I've been watching some of the videos from the 3D printer people, and I'm not like the biggest 3D printer or nothing, but I pay attention. I know when I see. I thought I knew when I was looking at a 3D printer or whatever, and I walked past a couple of booths that I've seen other people do reviews of, and there was a lot of presence with that. And it's just having the eye to know what to stop and talk about. And I don't even know what kind of reloading stuff's going on because it's just not my realm. Like I could have been walking past all kinds of interesting stuff. I'm sure I walked past all kinds of interesting stuff.
Yeah, there's no way you can catch everything, and if you've got an appointment somewhere, you just whiz by dozens and dozens of stuff that could be super interesting. I happened to fortunately bring a couple of buddies to be my sort of camera assistants just at the expo, and it was helpful to have them around, not just to carry my gear with me and to hold my camera sometimes, but while I was doing interviews, they would just go, wander around and to the neighboring booth and look at stuff. And they pulled me into some interesting stuff that I would have just walked by just because I was so focused on something else. Like, have you guys heard of this new concealed carry pistol, the Ounce?
Yeah, for sure. They're very cool.
What's it called again?
It's called the Ounce. It's a little folding plastic pistol about the size of the life card, but
it's the one with the 22s are up on top and
they're almost vertical. Yeah, and it's a 10-round semi-auto, and it folds about the size of a life card. But life cards are just single shot. So I would have walked by their booth because they really didn't have a booth. They just had the table and a sign, the generic sign from the show with their name on top. I would have walked by, but they pulled me over. My buddies pulled me over. You got to check this out. And so I ended up talking to the inventor there. So that was fortuitous. So yeah, I'll have a video on that in like 2 weeks or so, a week or two. But I've already finished the video on that. But yeah, so check out my channel when that comes up.
Yeah, invite me to go out there, but
I'm sorry, didn't catch that. It was I think about two of you guys talked at the same time.
I had Angela invite me to come out there, but I just started the new job and couldn't do it.
Yeah, getting the time off to do that, it's really like you said, you can't. Like I wanted to invite my my brother to come with me because he's a big gun guy too, but he used to work for the school district as well, so he couldn't get the time off. And then now he's a cop, so he's never going to get the time off to go.
Yeah, I would.
Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to Vegas anyway. I hate Vegas.
That's the only reason I'd go to Vegas, really, because it's like, it was never my thing to go to Vegas.
I would be.
All right.
I'd be at the Marlin booth.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jamie.
I'd say I would be at the Marlin booth, the Ruger booth, the Smith and Wesson booth, and the reloading section.
All right. So Elliot,
Hey.
what do you got to say about revolvers, buddy?
My favorite. I grew up in the revolver era. My first revolver used was a Model 10, maybe mid 40s, late 40s. Had the lanyard, didn't have the ring, but it had the thing in the handle that you could put the lanyard on the ring in. Unfortunately, I sold it. I wish I had it now. My first new revolver was a Security 6 stainless steel 4-inch barrel. The only thing I didn't like about Ruger back then, at that time, they had the wooden grips, and the wooden grips was very small to me compared to Smith. And I didn't like the grip part of it. The gun I want in the future, probably a Ruger Blackhawk stainless steel 44, I think 357 sometimes, but I want the 44 mag with adjustable sights. I want a single action 45. And eventually another, maybe a 6-inch 357 686 or a 629, but definitely single action and at least a revolver. I don't have one right now at the moment though, unfortunately, and I miss one too. There's nothing like a revolver. I used to set my stainless steel, and it was weird. I'd set it on the nightstand or in the living room end table. And I'd always sit there, and it's so beautiful, red ramp insert, target hammer trigger, especially on 629. I'd look over and just look at it for a minute or so. And I noticed I don't do semi-autos that way. Polymer guns. They're more like tools to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do it. It's just something about revolvers. They just look cool.
It's the spin.
Semi-autos are like an X-Acto knife, and revolvers are like having a nice pocket knife or something that it's worth holding on to.
Yeah, they're just nice. Look awesome.
All right. Well, how about you, Mark? You got any revolvers, buddy?
Oh, a few. Sorry about that little nap. I stayed awake all night last night. Not quite tonight. Yeah, I've always loved for revolvers, and as many single action as double action now too.
Any certain ones that you'd like to have that you don't have right now or anything?
Yeah, MacMan ruined me. He got a 41 Magnum sometime last year, and I've been on the hunt ever since. I'll get one sometime.
You know what? I forgot. Webley.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's another one I'd like to have is a Webley. I wouldn't fire it at all, just because them things timing always goes bad in them. But I would like to have a Webley.
I agree with that. I wish some. Has anybody come out with a sort of modern version of the break forward? Because I think that's just beautiful.
There's one company make it. They're not well known. I can't remember what the name of them is, but there's one starting to come back out with the Webleys, and they're trying to fix the timing issues. So we might be seeing one here in the next, 6 or 7 months.
Do you know the name of the company?
No, I can't remember. I want to say it's close to Chiappa, but it isn't Chiappa. It's
Cimarron?
It might be Cimarron. It might be Cimarron doing it. I can't remember.
I seem to remember something like an old Schofield looking thing or something that was break top.
Yeah, I don't know. They even kept a little bit like ring at the bottom for the lanyard and shit on it. So, but yeah.
If we're talking about ones that you'd want, like that Medusa multi-caliber, I've played with those before, and they're super neat. They just look cool. So, the smooth cylinder, and it's got like a full underlug and some cool, just a strong looking revolver. Plus, it can shoot anything 30 caliber, pretty much.
You get a Webley, you just want to say tally ho every single time you see it. So I'm sorry if that bothers anybody saying it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just
And I
like
want
with
to.
the river
Every
guys.
time I see one, I think of the Wall, the movie The Wall, where he's fiddling with one, cleaning it or whatever.
I just want to get that in a pith helmet.
It's just, you know, it's just like with revolvers with us guys. You know, everybody's sitting there talking about gun safety and stuff like that. You got to treat guns with respect. Second to lever actions in our hands. Yeah, we're shooting this cowboy in the way.
Damn
I'm
straight.
guilty of it too.
Can we
Yeah.
talk about? Can we talk about DJ Playnice's comment about Taylor and Company?
You betcha.
One thing, I've not bought any real single action army clones, but if I was going to buy one, it would be Taylor guns. And y'all, if y'all watch Georgia Shooting Connection, y'all have heard me to refer to them as spaghetti guns because kind of paying homage to the spaghetti westerns that we all grew up watching, and we just love that stuff. And most of them are made in Italy, just like those movies. But your main companies that make those are Uberti, Pieta, and I think that's it, Pedersoli. Well, Taylor's imports Ubertis, which most of the critics will proclaim as the best made of the single action army clones from Italy. They'll ship them in and then go through and get them to Taylor specifications and then sell them. And then if you really want, you can have Taylor, quote unquote, slick it up so it'll be ready for cowboy action shooting. And they have a model called the Drifter. And
that would be nice.
I was explaining that to DJ. That's a color case hardened frame with an octagon barrel and wood grips and a single action army clone. And it comes in 357 Magnum or 45 Colt. So, you know, if I was just ready to take on another caliber, because I cast, load, and shoot everything for all my guns except for the long range guns and the deer hunting rifles. But everything else, I cast, load, and shoot it. And another caliber on top of all the ones I already have. I don't have 45 long Colt, but I'm just now getting into 44 Magnum. So if I get another one, I guess it's going to have to be 45 Colt.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That octagon barrel one looks nice. I just pulled it up now.
Now, I always loved that look, especially from the Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns. Is there any advantage to having an octagonal barrel in terms of I don't know, accuracy? I would assume that they went with the rounder ones just for saving of weight and the cost of that extra metal. But was there any advantage to the octagonal barrel?
Aesthetics, and you can shoot it longer before the barrel gets too hot to shoot.
Rigidity, you've got all that, like, you've got 5 lines going, 5 pieces of metal going down there, and you got that spiral barrel. So if you've got old metal and it's the thinner the barrel, then heat is going to start throwing that bullet around. So basically weight versus accuracy at distance. What are you buying it for? What are you going to be using it for, kind of thing? And then just plain old looks, where I think since the beginning, people have bought guns based on their looks.
The octagon barrel is actually harder to make than a round barrel. So think about that too. You can take a piece of steel, flatten it out, put it on a mandrel, and beat it into submission. Make a round barrel, but the octagon barrels are a different animal. They just look so good, and they shoot they got to shoot great, and I just got to get one of those. But yeah, as far as the Italian-made imported stuff, that would Taylor and Company, which is an American company, that'd be the company I'd go with. And no, they don't sponsor my channel. They don't send me any money.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim S., I was going to tell you, you went a little under that one. You hit a key. So you might retype that in, buddy. We ain't got drawn for HBN 9 key. I'm the world's worst about doing that. So with me, I just fell in love with revolver guns, same as lever guns. I think like a lot of us, watching the old spaghetti westerns, or it was even from that, or from
The
something
Rifleman.
like the Ponderosa, little
Mhm.
Joe, firing his pistol and stuff. And so I started out my first revolver. I don't even know the name of it. I ended up trading it off on something else, but it's just a 22 long rifle revolver, and I enjoyed that. Then of course I really started getting into revolvers. I'm kind of like Jamie. I have a place in my heart for Smith and Wesson, the 357s, 44s, that stuff. One that I might possibly be my next revolver is I'm really kind of liking the Taurus Tracker. I've not shot one yet, but I kind of like the looks of it and everything, and then of course it's vented on the top side, so that's something that I would like to kind of shoot and do a little more studying on, and that could possibly be my next one. Other than I'd like to go ahead and get a couple Heritage revolvers, the 22 Magnum, cylinder with the 22. I would like to have some of those just to pass down to the shoot, but also to pass down to my grandkids one of these days and stuff. Anyway, I want to go ahead and let's go ahead and do G-Web's giveaway here. So everybody make sure you got typed in hashtag HBN 9.1. We'll go ahead and do this giveaway. Then we have one more after this. So anyway, while I bring this up here, G-Web, would you like to go over what your options are on your giveaway again real quick for everybody?
Sure. I'm going to get my co-host to get everything ready here. So you get the Old West Guns deck. So this is a deck we did in 2016, I think, where each card of the deck is a different Old West gun. So the spades are the rifles, the hearts are the revolvers, the diamonds are the derringers and the poker guns, and then the clubs are the shotguns. And then again, I went down to Tombstone. I'm here in Tucson, so I went down to Tombstone and got most of the pictures from a couple of the museums down there that I worked with, and then a friend of mine here in Tucson. Actually, this deck is dedicated to a radio show host who passed away during the construction or the building of this deck. But then some other friends, I got a bunch of old guy friends here in Tucson that are just into cowboy guns, so they helped me with all the pictures and stuff. So everything in here was created here in Tucson. All my decks are printed in Texas, so everything's USA. And then so this is one of them. The other one would be going along with the knife that you're doing on the earlier one of the Walmart versions of the inexpensive multipliers. Then we've got our Firearms Inventors deck. So that was a couple of years later. We do these as crowdfunders, right? Like, again, These decks, you know, I showed you the cards themselves have a illustration of the firearms inventor on them. I did these illustrations so that the cards would have some consistency. And you know, like a picture of a guy today is going to be different than a guy from, you know, Civil War. So to get some consistency, I just made these illustrations and did all the research. And we did this as workshops. Every Tuesday afternoon, we'd go live and spend a couple of 2 to 4 hours working on the project. We did that while it was a crowdfunding project, showing people how to work the software and how to do the research and how to do the stuff, and then assemble the cards, again, printed in Texas. This deck is each suit is a different like range. So you've got the spades are the U.S. inventors. Hearts are also U.S. inventors, sort of the beginning of U.S. inventors, and then the rest of the U.S. inventors. And then you got your other countries in the clubs and the diamonds. But all these different countries represented, pretty much most of them, not every firearm, it's 50-something firearms. So that's another deck that we did that way. And then since we're doing the patch stuff, we're trying to get the sewing machine now. This is the 9-inch AK-47 PVC patch.
That's a long patch.
Yeah, this is the longest one you can get. Like essentially, we can get patches made longer, but they won't fit in an envelope that I can ship for $4. So, right? So this is the longest one. I learned my lesson in 2018 making this one the longest patch, but it's just long enough that it won't fit in an envelope. So in 2019, when we did the project, we did our first AK patch, figured out that that fits in the envelope. So now we use that scale, and this is our second AK patch. We also did one for Clover Tack, a double barrel shotgun that says FUD Life on it. So I don't know if you can still get these from Clover Tack's website or not, but you can get this one tonight if you choose it. And that'll come along with a patch that we can't sell for obvious reasons. But if you'll notice, it's the same AK. And then that'll come as a set. So the patches, the multi-tool, the one deck, or the other.
Very nice.
Thanks for tuning in tonight. Foss has a show a little bit later on tonight, by the way.
Elmer Fudd with an AK. That's awesome, man.
That's some great. That's a great giveaway there, buddy.
You guys know
appreciate you doing
Red. You guys know this from Red Dawn, right? So the first one I did was a Wolverine doing Wolverine. The second time I did it was Wolverine doing Wolverine. Then we did Baby Yoda doing Wolverine.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So that's
Using the
fourth.
Force.
I can't sell them, but we give them away when people buy stuff. You know what I'm saying? I can't sell them, but I can give them away when people buy stuff.
Oh man, that's just such a great giveaway, buddy. So anyway, make sure you get that hashtag put in, because I mean that's just a great giveaway. And also G-Webs, if you want to put out your email there, so whoever wins this can get a hold of you and choose what they would like to get in there, like to receive. So yeah, there's the hashtag again, hashtag HBN 9.1, and we'll go ahead and get this given away here. Get the screen pulled up.
These things would all just be laying down on the table, but luckily my co-host is here to keep them all at a nice angle so you can see everything.
He's a very patient co-host.
Honestly, I think the Don's a better co-host than Vanna White, because when Vanna White turned left, you couldn't see the letters.
All right. It looks like D. Anderson just made it back in time for the giveaway. All right, buddy. So let's go ahead and draw here. Everybody's entered. And let's see who's going to win this great prize. Krabby Turtle.
Congrats.
Congratulations, buddy.
I think I know that guy's address. So Krabby Turtle is a big supporter of a lot of people out there. Thanks very much for your support throughout the
Yes, he
years.
is.
Yeah,
and believe it or not, like, I don't know, but like I think his may have been the last hashtag put in. Ain't that something? At least showing here on my screen. So,
The
yeah.
last shall be first.
So, Krabby, if you want to get a hold of G-Webs there and
if you
make
want,
your pick.
I've got something going out to Krabby Turtle already. So
Oh.
'cause he bought something over at the store. So if you want, just hit replay on that thing and let's do a second one. Whatever he doesn't grab will still be up for grabs.
Oh, you want to do another one?
Yeah, do it. You can hit
All
replay on that
right.
thing. Just hit again or whatever.
Well, that's really generous of you, buddy.
Hillbilly, looking back
So-
through the comments, looks like I won something. Just go ahead and redraw that. I've already won twice.
Yeah, you sure did, buddy.
Yeah, we all yelled rigged when you won again.
So anyway,
Up at the top right there, you can hit redraw, right?
yeah, I see that there. Yeah, thank you, buddy. So anyway, not only Krabby Turtle is going to win, but somebody else is. So let's spin this thing again.
I appreciate everybody staying up late, letting me blab about my project.
G23. Congratulations, buddy.
All right, here's the deal. I already have a package going to G23. So these are dudes that have supported my stuff. G23, of course, does the live show just before yours. He's got a live show going for a long time, years again. So whatever Krabby Turtle grabs, then whatever G23, let's get rid of all tonight. Do 2 more.
Yeah, and G23 said rig Krabby Turtle, and then he ends up winning. All right. Well, we're going to spin this thing again.
Maybe it'll be somebody who I don't have a package going out to already. There we go.
Stephanie Vanita.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Oh, over on Facebook too.
Yeah.
So very cool. So yeah, I have no idea. I don't
that
think I'm
is
sending anything to
awesome.
Stephanie. And I don't
Man.
think that either one of those two guys will care if we let Stephanie pick first. I'm almost positive I can speak for those guys and say Stephanie can pick first.
All right. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us over there on Facebook. We appreciate it. And congratulations.
That's pretty cool because a lot of times the Facebook side is like weighted. So that's kind of cool that other things won and then Facebook. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. That is great. Man, I'm so excited about this. So, guys, also, let me reset this. We're going to start on a new topic, and then I'm going to reset this because we have one more giveaway to do tonight. So, while I am getting this reset for everybody, Moondog had asked about this comment, and so anyway, I'm going to post this, Moondog, and if you would like to kind of elaborate on this and stuff, what he's wanting to talk about, I'll get this reset for everybody. And I just want to say a thing real quick. On the giveaway earlier, Mark won. On this third giveaway, we'll draw that twice, and that way Mark is nice enough to let somebody have his, so we'll have actually 2 winners on this next drawing. Okay, so anyway, Moondog, yeah, if you want to elaborate on that, buddy, I'd sure appreciate that while I set this up.
So just as a little preface, since I do a lot of reviews on YouTube of products, firearms products. For those of you who don't know, what will often happen is either I'll reach out and email and track down whoever is in the marketing or try to contact a brand to try to get samples of products to review, or sometimes good half the time I'll buy a product and I just review it because it's something I bought and I'm interested in, especially with firearms and ammo. But sometimes I'll get, especially as you get more well known, or at least you get more videos out there, some companies will actually approach you, or they approach me and ask, "Hey, would you review this product?" And there's a range of folks, and in terms of their own personal policies and ethics. I won't necessarily review something and give it a glowing review just because they sent it to me, for free. It's like, I'll be as honest as I can be. I always try to be as nice or diplomatic, unless they're, real dicks to me. But I got reached out recently by this optics company, Discovery, which I really kind of only had seen a couple of times before. Didn't really know anything about it. And they sent me a scope to review. And I also talked to some other YouTubers who I know who do a lot of firearms and optics reviews. And I mentioned to them, "Hey, I just got this scope, and I'm testing it out. The illuminator is a little dim, but I don't know if that's that particular sample that I got." And then they mentioned, "Oh yeah, I got one too." And then they said, "Oh yeah, I got one a couple of months ago." They said, "Oh yeah, everybody's getting them." I'm like, "Really? Okay." So apparently they've been pushing this their scopes around, and that's I come from the advertising side, so I totally understand that. If you have a brand and you want to get some word of mouth about it, you send samples to everybody that you can in the press, or in this case, online and influencers and content creators to try to review your products. That's how you get your word out. I mean, that's a form of advertising. So one question I had to you guys: has anybody approached you to review their products? And what are your policies on that? And I had a secondary question about this, because this brand comes from China, and to be quite honest, almost every optics brand, except for a handful of them, aren't at some point either made or sourced from China. And it just kind of, I'm kind of on the fence about, well, should I promote a product that comes directly from China? Because I don't have anything against Chinese people, I'm an Asian myself, but it's every company in China is by law required to be 51% owned by the Chinese Communist government. So there's a little bit of give and take there. It's like, we don't want to necessarily, we want to support, I think we're all of the same mind. We want to support America, and we want to support our allies and friends. But it's always like, every gun person is, if they can, will end up buying stuff that's cheap, and 99% of the time it's made in China. So what are you going to do? So there's always that sort of give or take there. Is where do you stand on that? So anyway, going back to the first question, what have you guys ever been approached by any companies to review their products, and what do you think about that?
Everyone will be approached at some point. That's a marketing strategy at this point of more than one type of company. So you'll get approached by people that do rechargeable battery packs or lights and keychains and knives, and it's just a marketing strategy of anybody who's doing something that has a margin, and they want to do a strategy that's a little bit more creative, or I don't know, it's probably not even creative at this point, but I would think there's probably a threshold. I don't know if it's a number of views or you hit somebody's radar, but if they see that you're reviewing, then you should expect, this is a great question, because you should expect to get these in waves consistently throughout time. If your contact information is available, sorry, I've got popcorn going in the background. I don't know if you can hear that, but if your contact information is available, you should expect to start getting these. And it's a great topic, because it's something that if you don't discriminate or have the threshold for what you're going to review, you'll get a reputation of being somebody that reviews anything. And mainly that's just for people that are savvy and are combing through. They're going to disregard you with the book's cover. They're not even going to actually pay attention potentially. And I only say that after years and years of this question or this situation. So I think it's a great topic to bring up with people who are creating content.
I personally, I'm pretty sure Votatu is. Votatu is pretty. I'm pretty sure that's from China, but I've been asked to do reviews on their stuff or whatnot, but most of the time it's been like, hey, can you do this through PayPal and then we'll send the money back to you? It's like, no, I'm not doing that. As far as using Chinese products and stuff like that, got one from Vietnam, Fiachi. I don't have a problem with their products as long as their products work. And I try, like I said, for most of my guns and stuff that I do cheaper guns and stuff, and I like to test them out. I also like to test out cheaper, optics and stuff of that nature. CV Life, I've tested out several times. Fiachi's tested out several things from them. Votatu haven't really touched yet, but I mean, as long like mid 10's one of them. Mm-hmm. I love mid 10 products; they're pretty good. I have no qualms about sending money to that. As long as the products work. If the product doesn't work, I'm going to tell somebody that the product doesn't work. But any company that usually asks me to review something, if they're wanting me to give an unbiased review, I'll do it. But if they're wanting me to be biased, I won't do it. So I'm not going to say something's great when it's garbage. And that's kind of where my line stops. Like if you're asking me to review a product, cool, I'll review a product. If I ain't allowed to give my actual opinion, I ain't gonna do it. So that's just me.
It's funny. I got I forget if it was I think it was either CV Life or Fiachi. I never know if I'm getting contacted by the actual company or just some sort of middle promoter or somewhere. But they asked me to review a product, and they sent me, and I got from Amazon a product that was a mid 10, and it's like, wait, this is not the brand that you asked me to review. And they kind of said, oh, that was a mistake, but can you review it anyway?
You got Pensi, you got mid 10, you got Fiachi, you got CV Life. And a lot of these companies, though they're cheap, most of them's pretty good, and a lot of them actually have better customer service than, well, if anybody's used to Taurus customer service, you think any other customer service is better. But regardless, most of them are pretty on point when something's messed up. They have you send it back. They pay for the shipping and stuff most of the time, and they'll send you back a product. If it doesn't work, then they'll just refund your money. So they're pretty good. They're pretty good about what they do. Like I said, with Votatu, the only other person I know of that tests Votatu is Gun and Wild One, and Jeff over there seems to like a lot of their products. He's had a couple that were duds, but he seems to like them pretty well. And I'm one to respect Gun and Wild's opinion. So Jeff's pretty good about that, and he doesn't mix qualms. So the quality that you get for the price of the stuff, pretty dang good. 95% of the time, it's going to be decent. 5% of the time, you might get one that's like broken in half, but but that's with any company. I've had this discussion with Chris from 740, and I said, every gun company, every manufacturer and stuff, you have a 50-50 chance is what you have, essentially, of getting, one of the situations where somebody maybe didn't turn a barrel right, somebody didn't didn't cut down something right, yada, yada, yada. There's always going to be like one lazy person in there that you have a chance of getting that made your particular product. There's always going to be that one guy in there. And for whatever the reason, they don't fire them. I don't know why they don't fire them, but there's always that one weak link in there that messes up it for everybody else. Taurus, 50-50 chance.
It could be just the fact that it's done on a Friday late afternoon or early Monday morning too.
Yeah.
One of those factors. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. Man, screw Mondays. Man, this guy, I don't like his last name. Screw him. But, that's just the fact. Every one of them, Glock, Kimber, all of them. High Point's actually really good with their warranties or whatever, so I can never knock them for their warranties, so I'm not going to do that. But every company every company is a 50-50 chance for products or whatever. Everybody tells me all the time the PSA is garbage. Well, every PSA product I've ever gotten has been phenomenal. So, you either take the chance on something that's cheap or you don't. That's your choice. You take the chance on an expensive product for the 50-50 chance, you got gonads of steel, man. That's all I can say.
They better have good customer service. That's all.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, well, see, here's an example. There's another one. Because with Chris for the 740, I told him my buddy bought a $2,000 Kimber, right? Straight up custom, all the fixings and stuff. It was made to be a tactical custom Kimber. Firing pin fell out of it. We get the firing pin fixed. He gets it back. Hammer falls off. We're talking. This gun's only had 20 rounds through it.
Wow.
And all this has happened. Magazine falls apart. Magwell falls off. The works. All right.
Wow.
So, and I had the same problem with Glocks. I've had a Glock do that to me. I've had every other thing do it to me. And I just stand by. It's 50-50. It doesn't matter. I'm not paying for a name if I'm going to take a 50-50 chance. I don't care. Because no matter what gun it is, I'm going to drop a Timney trigger in it. I don't care. I'm either going to drop a Timney, a Geisley, or an Apex is what I'm going to put in it. So I really don't care about their special triggers or anything like that. That's me. So. Sorry.
Right. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to leave. Sorry, I got to leave. So thanks, guys. Great meeting you all. I'll talk to you next time.
Night, Mac.
Thanks for dropping all the links.
Okay,
See you, Matt. Have a good one.
thanks, guys. We'll catch you next
You too,
time.
buddy. Real quick on this topic, Jamie, do you want to say something, and we'll get these last couple drawings out for everybody. We'll go on around the room here real quick.
Well, I've been approached once or twice, but not very often, and it was a deal where we could get products at Georgia Shooting Connection and promote them on our live streams. Then if when our viewers bought them, we got a kickback. Well, when I looked at the price they gave us to sell them for, I could go online and find the same thing about 20% cheaper than the price they gave us. So they were building in our commission. Wow. And then I was approached once to do some optic reviews, and I turned both of them down because your viewers are who they're the reason we're here. And, if it wasn't for our viewers, we might as well be having a hangouts, same thing.
Yeah,
but
100%. Yeah. And so how about you, Elliot? What you got to say on that, buddy?
I was doing something on the backside. What was the comment? A question?
So,
sorry.
Basically, just if you were, what do you think about even some cheaper stuff from China or whatever? Your thoughts on that? Especially if they approached you to, to maybe put it on your channel and stuff. So.
I would give an honest review if I decided to do it. I don't like to take China stuff because I think we're making them a superpower, but at this point, China's everywhere. I would hope American manufacturing would come back here and we wouldn't have to worry about that anymore. But it would be an honest review. I'm not going to rig it for a percentage, and all that. And so that's all I got to say on that one.
Mark.
All right, Mark. What do you got to say, buddy, about that?
Well, I have been approached, via email and any of those products. I just have not done anything. I've not pursued it. Either didn't answer or just, said no, thank you. The only products that I've reviewed on my channel are things that I've used for a long time. or people that I've met or that I've communicated directly with, and things that they do themselves, and they're not mass produced. That's the only things I've reviewed on my channel.
But as
Yeah,
far as
and-
the China thing,
Mm-hmm.
really, man, I don't see that as an issue. We're looking for value for our dollar. I mean, yeah, I would prefer like everybody else that is made in America. But if I was going to do product reviews, I think that would be a consideration, but it wouldn't be a deal breaker. I mean, we all in the shooting community, we all like CV Life scopes. I'll tell you that right now. It, it's reloaders, especially because we're cheap. And
Yep.
we found this particular brand of scope from China that works, and it don't cost a lot of money, and I have 2 of them. So, as far as where it's made, yeah, that's a thing to consider. But is Vortex selling me a 6 through 24 by 50 scope for $80? Not hardly.
Yeah.
I still have
All
that. I
right,
still have
you-
that 624 from CV Live, though it's not quite a 24.
Can I throw something else in here? Can I
I
throw
think-
something else in there on it? As
Uh,
far as getting reviews or taking reviews from the stuff that's solicited to you instead of you requesting it. As far as a content creator goes, first off, somebody needs to buy that stuff, so there is a need for reviews of it. And if I don't have anything to add, doing an honest review is good to go, right? Now, especially if they say do an honest review and keep it, they don't expect you to return it or anything or put any cost out on it. Now, what I would recommend as a content creator, if you're trying to either grow your channel and get more interest in your channel or fund your channel, optics, especially if like you have a channel with a channel with guns and a separate channel with other things. So if you got, let's say, binoculars that are made in China or inexpensive that were solicited to you, now you've got a pair of binoculars that a friend lets you have, or you own, or you get from someplace else, or maybe a local gun shop, and you compare the 2 binoculars. What's the difference between the $10 one and the $1,000 one, or the $100 one and the $1,000 one, right? Now you're providing value to people. Okay, now I can see what some of the differences are. You own the cheap one, so drop it down the stairs. You don't have to be abused to it, but you can do things to it that now that you have it, you can actually review it. Now on your channel that has monetization, you can put, you're going to get, if you have a channel with monetization, you can actually monetize a video about optics reviews, right? Now you've got this in your inventory to review or to compare with other optics as you discover them. And those videos themselves can be monetized. So that's a revenue source right there. Even though it's not going to be huge, it's better numbers than you're going to get with any kind of gun stuff. Now, it might find you a more larger audience as well, because you might find people with binoculars that are into bird watching and stuff outside the gun realm. So there's some value there. Now, as far as if you've got an Amazon or an affiliate with some other company, now you put the expensive brand binocular over here on the left and the inexpensive version on the right, and you have an affiliate link to that expensive version. Now, you don't have to do a slanted review that says buy this or this, but here's the differences. And if you choose to buy this one, please buy from this link. It helps our channel out. You don't have to sell it. You don't have to imply anything. You can just give an honest review. And over time, that's called long tail. Like over time, someone who appreciates that might purchase from there, or just inadvertently purchases from there. And that can be a revenue income. So hopefully, if you're serious about the channel, you can parlay those unsolicited, inexpensive gear opportunities into more than just the gear review and move on. And I can't suggest enough, don't just do a review of the inexpensive gear and leave it there, especially if it's just without any other context, because then you'll be dismissed. People will, because we're very look at the book and look at the cover and not the content. So if people just see inexpensive reviews, they might have some connotation. So if you can offer them what am I trying to say? The review of the comparison, that's the kind of thumbnail that people are going to go, from either side. Like, oh, I don't like the inexpensive stuff, I'm going to check this out. Or I'm an advocate of the inexpensive stuff, I'm going to check this out.
Right.
Expand your audience, in other words.
See, and I got another takeaway on this too, but I didn't mention it when I said it. But if I'm going to have a gun and I'm just going to test it out, and I just want to test out an optic or whatever, I'm probably going to go with a cheaper one. But right now, I'm going to be building a competition rifle for competition shooting. Now, if I'm going to buy like a scope or something like that, I'm getting Arkin. That's the scope I'm going to go with, like bar
They're
none.
good scopes. Yeah.
For
the price, yeah.
Arkin or Monstrum, because Monstrum has always been perfect. I've never had any problems with Monstrum or Arkin. So if I'm going to build like something like that, if I want something to be going the distance or whatever and still be at an affordable price, I'm going to go with Arkin or I'm going to go with Monstrum. If I want a gun just to show off and appease everybody else, I'd probably buy a Vortex scope or something like that. But I'll never buy an EOTech. I'll tell you that much. I'm not paying $2,000 for a little bitty red dot. No thanks. That's ridiculous. So that's my last takeaway. If I'm going to do something competition wise where I need as much as I can get, I'm going to go with Arkin or I'm going to go with Monstrum. Anything else, I'm going to go with the lower end just to try them out and see if they do good. And 9 times out of 10, they do good. So.
Yeah,
Also,
and
AR guns.
Woods brought up a neat little comment there. Said he's watching this on a phone, and guess where it's made at? One of the most popular phones in the United States.
Yeah, you can't get any electronics that isn't at least 50%. The components are made in China. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Even those Arkans and those
kind of
other,
my output on this is when somebody asks me, like I'll get an email or something and they'll be wanting me to review something. And, I just straight up honest with them. I'm telling them, I will not, review anything unless it's going to be an honest review. And I'm not going to review anything until I try out the product first. And I tell them, if I'm interested in that product and I think that Hillbilly Nation is interested in that product, I will tell them, so you can send it to me. I will kind of test it out. And if I don't want to review it, if I think it's junk or something that Hillbilly Nation is not interested in, I will mail it back to you, at my cost, and sometimes there's some weird stuff. I got a thing here. I think sometimes you're just on a list. I got a thing here about I think makeup and stuff here a while back, and I'm like, I think you got the wrong channel, buddy. Unless it's camouflage.
Well, what's your color?
But anyway, let's get these last 2 giveaways done here, and then that way I know there's some people that's probably wanting to go to bed, and we'll get back to we can stay and talk if everybody wants to. But let's get these last 2 giveaways done here. And so for this one here, I have already went over and gave to G-Web's deal there. But what I'm going to do with this one is if you win this one, then I will go over there and he has some different tiers on there that you can give away, and like you'll get a patch or something. So for this one, it's the patch design. It's $27. Then he will be shipping that out to you, but I'll do this in your name. So it won't cost you nothing. And I'll get with G-Webs there and let him know. And this will be sent to you, the patch that he'll be giving away. I believe, see, you want to elaborate on this, G-Webs? It says the AK-103 patch design.
Well, that's that one that I just showed you. Yeah, that's the
Yeah, that's what
So
I
that-
thought it was. And so,
Yep.
so that'll be the one that you'll be receiving from him.
and it'll
I
come
will
along with
do
that
it.
other one that I can't sell, but you know what I'm saying? It'll come along with that second one right away.
All right. All right. So for that in particular deal right here, we'll draw this and then we'll draw again here in just a few minutes. So let's go with this one and see who wins this.
Very cool. Sending something to
Congrats.
Illinois. Sending something to Illinois again.
Yeah. All
Unless
right,
his address
buddy.
has changed. I got his address from before.
All right. And he actually won last week too on the big giveaway we had last week. So congratulations, buddy.
I know.
So since Mark is nice enough to redo the drawing earlier for that tactical knife, we'll redraw that. I just thought, I know you weren't on here earlier, Mark, but with that, well, maybe you just collect enough of these winnings of these knives and stuff that you can just like sell them on eBay or something. Wouldn't for sure. So let's draw this again for that tactical knife that we did earlier. All right, here we go.
I'm gonna laugh if it's Mark again.
Tactical FUD.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Send him a patch with the Elmer FUD with the AK.
Yeah.
Just because he's got FUD.
One of his
Congrats,
own
Tactical FUD.
patches,
Congrats, man. Cool.
huh? All righty. I'm going to write this down here so I do not forget. All righty. Well, that's all of our giveaways for tonight. And so we can stay on here and visit a little bit longer if anybody would like to. But I know somebody, some people's got to get off for bed. I know Jamie's got church in the morning and some other people. And,
Same here.
somebody have to get up and slop the hogs in the morning. So, or something like that. So,
Yeah, I had
Anyway.
I'm ready for bed still.
Oh, wait. I got one more thing to say. One more thing to say about the Chinese thing. Hollow
You
Sun.
buddy.
Hollow Sun.
Oh yeah, they
People
were
forget
not a
about
great brand a few years ago, and now they're like really making legit stuff.
Yeah, they're making EOTechs cheaper, so it's just like, I mean, $2,000 versus 300. 300 is kind of leaning heavy over here.
Well, yeah, I remember when 300 is still kind of pricey to me, but yeah.
But I mean, people are crazy about Hollow Sun and stuff like that. Olight, stuff like that. Just
Good night, fellas. Y'all have a great rest of the week.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night, Jamie. We'll see you later, buddy. Thank you so much for jumping on.
Good night, fellas. I got to run too. Good to see you all. Good to be with you.
Got quiet
Hello.
tomorrow.
All right. We'll see you, buddy.
Good night,
Have a good
gentlemen.
Thanks a lot.
Mhm. Anytime, man. And I enjoy it.
So, yeah, on that, same, I'm all about getting a good deal. That last video I did, with the High Point, it had basically about a $40 optic, and and it got the job done. So, but there's also quality. Sometimes, stuff like that's not going to last as long either. And so, I'm also a big believer in, getting good quality made stuff that's going to last a long time, and stand the time. And, that way you won't be buying something cheap twice. You can buy something, a little bit more expensive, but it will still, stand the time. And overall, eventually save you money. So,
Well, if like most people I know over the years talking to them, knowing people and their habits and whatnot, and hanging out at the gun shop for so many years. Most people, if you've got a bolt gun, you're putting an optic on it and it's going to live on there. And you're going to buy another bolt gun and it's going to get an optic and it's going to live on there, and so forth and so forth. I know a couple of guys who will buy rifles for the different calibers and have a really good, set of glass, and then they're comfortable zeroing in a couple of shots, and they'll move their glass around because that's the glass they like, and it's really expensive. And they hunt, like distance or up in the top of hills or something where they care about that kind of stuff a lot. So I can totally get the getting the high end stuff for like the use. But most people are just shooting the gun. They want it to look cool. They want to shoot it a couple of times a year. They want to take it out when their friends are getting together on the weekends and stuff. And that gun, that optic doesn't need to go to hell and back. That doesn't need to live through war. That just needs to not fall apart and you're safe, and to handle the recoil, right? And if it can provide the options like illuminated reticles or the powers or the zooms or whatever you're looking for, most guns aren't going to war, is what I'm saying. So if you're going to have 8 guns, it's unrealistic to have 8 high-powered optics that cost high end to just sit there and you're safe 99% of the time.
We also have to realize that.
Go ahead, buddy. No, go ahead.
We also have to realize we're not the only ones using these for our shooting sports. Took my son to airsoft this morning, and he had a little Pinty red dot on top of his little airsoft scar, and it got hit about a month ago and busted the cover glass, and then it got hit today and busted the inside glass, and it's done. But it was a $30 red dot. Shrug it off, throw it in the trash, or keep it for parts and buy another one.
Yeah. And what?
No, I was just wondering, can you show products on stream as long as it's not a firearm?
Yeah.
Or is it just, okay.
Yeah.
So,
You can show products.
Like I was talking about with Fiachi, I just bought some of their flip up iron sights, and I mean, for the price that these things are, it way beats out like the Magpul and stuff like that. And they're pretty good. They got fiber optics in them and stuff, and didn't cost me an arm and a leg to get. And it's just, it works out great. Pinties are great just because, like Mark said, it's $30 and you're good. If it breaks, you only spent $30, and it still works. And ultimately, that's what you want. You want something that works. If it breaks, you're not having to reach into your pocket and bring out another $200 to fix something. And Fiachi's actually really good about returns. If something breaks, they're pretty good about it. So, and just like what was it? The other day, I bought something from Agilite because they've been sending me a bunch of stuff to do reviews on, but I can't do them yet because it's kind of like one of those T&E things where they can't show it until they really want to release it after all the reviews and stuff come in. And so I bought one of their little assault backpacks, and I gotta say, the thing's pretty nice. Using it as a range bag right now until I get the plate carrier that they're sending me. But I mean, this thing's sturdy. It's got spots for everything in it. It's got spots for hydration pack and stuff. I haven't done a review on this yet, but going to be. But I mean, super durable. And I've ran it through the ringer a couple of times already, and I've only had it for like a week. So I mean, but they sent me something cool, and that's why I brought this up. But they sent me something that made me laugh, and I hope it makes everybody else in the side chat laugh. They sent me a mil-spec Moses sticker. It's literally Moses holding a plate, holding an AR with nods on, and the 10 Commandments are now like an Agilite armor pack. And it just made me laugh hysterically. They got mil-spec Moses. They sent me this as a patch. And this made me laugh so hard, I about crapped my pants. I was laughing so hard. And then they sent me a couple extra stickers with it.
I like that. I love a company that has a great sense of humor and all that. I mean, that's just I like that.
Like I get a kick out of it, man. I mean, they've been really cool. Like they wanted, like I said, they wanted to fly me out to Vegas or whatever, and to meet them at SHOT Show, but I was just like, I can't do it because I just started a new job. And they say, all right. I was like, I'm surprised you guys want to do this for me because I didn't even have 100 subs at the time. But they've been sending me stuff like crazy. So I mean, they're a pretty cool company to talk to and to have conversations with. You know, I know a little bit of Hebrew language and stuff like that, so it's like a little bit of back and forth jokes and stuff. But to see that Mil-Spec Moses when they're predominantly a Jewish company, I about lost it. I lost all semblance of sanity when I saw it. But it's just been great. They're really cool and stuff. You know, I mean they're not. I'd say they're about mid tier as far as expense is concerned. Because, I mean, I could afford, like, their plate carriers and their armors and stuff like that. So I'd say it's about mid-tier. So it's, you know. And, again, that comes all the way from Israel over to here. I think they've actually started to establish a company here in America. But, like I said, it's, you know.
Yeah, just don't, if Wish.com sent you some plates, don't, like, try those on for real life, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't trust anything. I don't even want to look at the thing for fear of my account being hacked.
Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, GGW asked, what's the name of the company again?
Agilite gear. They sell a bunch of plate carriers and stuff like that, helmet covers and stuff. You can actually try and see if you can get into their T&E program or whatever. You can test out some of the stuff too. They ask you a bunch of questions and stuff. If you pass the first test, you get the second test. You pass that test, they start sending you stuff. Yeah, Agilite's amazing, man. I absolutely approve of most of their stuff. Their chest rig's got a crap ton of molly. This backpack's got a ton of molly on it. So I mean, you can adapt to just about anything. And they have adapter kits. If their thing doesn't fit it, they'll have an adapter kit for it to fit the other plate carriers and stuff. So that's cool.
Well, there's your answer from Angry Sarge. He said Agilite is solid. I've used some of their gear on deployment. So,
and I've got a couple buddies that are cops out in Virginia and stuff, and I've told them about Agilite, and Agilite sent them stuff half price, and they're using it for their chest rigs right now. So, I mean, Agilite is a very fantastic company, and I could not be more impressed with how kind, how quick they are, and everything like that. Because you got to think, it's coming from Israel, and they're always in the war. There's always in a war. There's always a war somewhere over there in Israel. And they're still sending stuff out. And it took like less than a week for this to get here. And it came from Israel. So I was just like, they're fast. They're fast at what they do.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good deal. But yeah, I mean, with some of these different deals that they send you, you never know if something's going to be junk or if it's going to be a good product unless you try it. And there's so many things. When I go to my friends on YouTube channels, it's got the guns and different stuff. I'm respecting their opinion on. I buy a pair of earplugs, electronic ones that Chris did a review on them because I was looking for some, and he did a review, and they were about in the price range and what I was looking for. And so, he did a review on those, and he liked them. And I'm like, man, my mind's made up now. I want to try these, and sure enough, I'm really happy with them. So. And that wasn't something that was sent to him for free. That's just something he had bought, and paid for that he liked. And so, people tend to go to people in the gun community or whatever, the deal is, and they're relying on these reviews, because they're, thinking about buying, something like that. And just like when G Webs was talking about a while ago about binoculars or whatever the case might be. So I really think that it's real important that everybody does, do a good, honest review. And, because there's people out there that's going to be maybe buying that product, regardless if it's cheap or expensive, so. So anyway, G Webs, do you have anything more to say about these reviews? I know you expanded on it a little bit a while ago. You've been doing this for quite a while, and you've helped out so many of our channels and stuff, with so much stuff. And so, I mean, you're I consider you the OG, when it comes to a lot of this stuff, because I'm sure you've been approached with a lot of different opportunities to do reviews or to try something, if it's free or whatever the case might be. So, before we go here, you got anything else you'd like to say about that and maybe expand on it a little bit, buddy?
And I don't know. I mean, I kind of threw out some stuff there, but yeah, it's a element of what we got going on because the internet is commerce. In a lot of ways, it was built for commerce and on commerce. A lot of our entertainment is related to purchases, and we have a tendency, if we see something in a movie or we hear about it or whatever, we want to see if we can purchase it, and we're interested in it even if we're not purchasing it. So it's part of us, or it's part of our nature. Probably it's probably the whole hunt and gather thing. It's probably the part of our brain that decides if a berry is ripe or not, right? Like it's something there that we could probably talk about that a lot. But anyway, so it's an aspect of our channels and our projects that most people are either going to ignore it or lean into it. And yeah, I mean, I don't even know. We're 2.5 hours, more than 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours into the show in the middle of the night for some people. Probably too late to get into it, but anytime somebody does want to get into it, a guy called CloverTac and I have conversations every Tuesday where we, if you're a content creator, we talk nerdy about either the strategies and the techniques of creating content. I like to tell people, value your voice, but remember, you can just play around. You can just make this a hobby, or you can have a hobby that's a small business, right? You can have a hobby that changes the world. You can have an idea or an ambition, and you're allowed to use the internet to achieve that, or to at least move towards that. And I like to empower people to do that kind of stuff. The internet is interactive and it's fun. So, this element of it can pay for your adventures, and it can also ruin a channel. I mean, you can, like I say, really mess up just as far as putting your foot in your mouth or, making the wrong impression to the wrong company type of thing. And it's just the same as if we were in a motorcycle realm or in the guitar realm or anything else. It's just part of being capitalists and having the opportunity and the challenge of the internet. So, like I say, I won't keep going too much onto it, other than I'll talk nerdy about this kind of stuff anytime. This is there's the big part of it is there's the two sides to what we're talking about. The gun side, which we make no money on, and most of the platforms, including YouTube, are just weird about it because they don't understand it. And it's not because they hate us, it's just because they don't understand it, and we don't do a good job of normalizing guns. If we do that, again, you have a reason to do your channel, you have a goal with your project. If normalizing guns is part of that, then we accomplish some of the challenges that we have. We normalize guns, YouTube leaves us alone, right? But working towards that, like I say, we'll chat about that any Tuesday if anybody wants to really get into this stuff. But I appreciate the chance to talk about it a little bit tonight. It is the wrong probably time to do it, and the wrong, middle of the night's not the best time for everybody. But I always like to talk about this stuff because, again, we can either play with this stuff or we can make small businesses out of it, and we can get some stuff accomplished with our time. time together and time that we're spending on this stuff,
Yeah. And I totally appreciate that. And guys, make sure you go over to GWeb's site there on that link and everything and help him out getting that new embroidery machine. He does so much for the gun community, for, just the gun websites, everything. And so I want to thank everybody that's on the panel tonight. I appreciate y'all. It's been in the side chat. I've just had a lot of fun. I mean, this is just, I just enjoy this every Saturday night, and I'll just keep doing it as long as everybody wants to do it. And, just as long as we can keep having fun and help people out or whatever the case might be. So anyway, I just want to thank you guys. I want to shout out to Hillbilly Nation. I thank you so much for everything. And remember, God, family, and guns. And make somebody's day better, will you? And if the good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise, I'll be seeing you again. Good night, everybody.